Hey, fifth graders, we've made it to Chapter 8, and Chapter 8, Lesson 1, our question today is, what is prime factorization? Now, I'm hoping that many of you have seen prime factorization before, and if not, well, this is going to be an introduction to it. I believe, and I am hoping that much of what we're going to cover today is review. But to start off, we're going to start off with some vocabulary, okay? So vocabulary. The first word that we're going to look at is exponents. Okay. Word number 2 is base. Number 3 is going to be square root. And 4 is going to be prime factorization, which, well, we've already discussed as part of our question. Oops. I probably need to make that bigger. There we go. Okay, so we're going to have our vocabulary here. Now, throughout today's lesson, we're going to come across each of these. Okay, so let's start and see what we do. All right, first we're going to start off with looking at a multiplication problem. 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. Now, what we look at as mathematicians, and as we look at higher level mathematics, we look at ways to simplify, okay? And when I say simplify, I mean looking for shortcuts. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to create a shortcut, or a shorter way of writing 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep 6 as our base. 6 is our base. Okay, and then we're going to see how many times we're multiplying 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to be our exponent. So 6 is our base, okay, and 4 is our exponent. Now, if you notice, the exponent is up in the sky here, and it tells you how many times you're going to multiply the base by itself. You have 6 to the 4th power, which means you're going to take 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. Okay, so let's look at different examples of what this can look like. All right, so if I give you 4 cubed, okay, when we see 4 cubed, I'm sorry, that's not really written very well. We think of 4, our base is 4, okay, and our exponent is cubed, or to the 3rd power. Okay, if I have 8 squared, my base is going to be 8, and my exponent is squared, or to the 2nd power. All right. Along those lines, what if I have 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7? What is that as an exponent, in exponential form? Okay, well, first we have to figure out what our base is. In this case, our base is, well, all of these numbers are the same, so our base is 7. And then our exponent, we have to figure out how many 7s we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 7 to the 5th power. Okay, so let's look at one more here. And this one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to have 4 times 4 times 3 times 3 times 3. And we want to write this in exponential form. Again, exponential form means that it has an exponent. So 4 times 4 times 3 times 3 times 3. In exponential form is, well, in this case we have two bases. We have a base 4 and we have a base 3. So we're going to have 4 times 3. Now, we have to add the exponential form. How many 4s do we have? 1, 2. So it's 4 to the 2nd power times how many 3s? 1, 2, 3 to the 3rd power. So 4 squared times 3 cubed. So remember, your base, boys and girls, is going to be whatever number is repeated. Or in this case, you have two bases. Base, base. And the exponent is the number of times it's multiplied by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3. All right. Now let's look at when we see exponential problems. Okay. How do we solve them? What do we do? Well, if I take 2 to the third power times 5, what is that going to give me? Okay. So I'm going to take 2 to solve this. I'm going to take 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Well, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 5, it's going to give me 40. Okay, did you see how this 3 became 1, 2, 3? Let's look at another problem. If I have 12 to the second power, what does that equal? Well, 12 to the second power means 12 two times. 12 times 12. Well, that is 144. Okay. Now, here's a big problem here. 10 to the fourth power times 2 is equal to what? Well, I'm going to take 10 to the fourth power times 2. I'm going to take 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, and I'm going to multiply all of that times 2. 10 times 10 is 100. Times 10 is going to be 1,000. Times 10 is going to be 10,000. Times 2 is going to give me 20,000. Okay? So that's looking at exponents. Okay? So now we've talked about exponents, which are the little writing which tells us the number of times we multiply a number by itself. Then we've talked about the base, and I should have done exponents in red because we've used red for exponents. And then our base is the number that is multiplied by itself. All right, stay tuned for video number 2.